Okay, here we're in the customers and sales screen, and there's two tabs, customers and sales. And under here, there's a customers and sales tasks, and we can go to new customer there, or we can go under customer and management, under customer ID. There's nothing there yet, but we can click on this new button there. Either way, we'll get to this maintain customers window. And so now we want to put in our customers. Now our first customer is David's Decorating. And so I have to have, just like the vendor, I have to have an ID. Then you can make that up yourself. You can use numbers. In this case, I'm going to have all caps being David, and David's Decorating is the actual name. Okay? Now, here in blue it says customer type. If some of our customers are final customers, we have to charge sales tax on them. If some of our customers are other merchandisers, so like we're acting as a wholesaler to some retailer, then we can set that up as a different type of customer, one that doesn't get charged sales tax. Okay, so in this case, we don't have any of that. All of our customers we have to charge sales tax to, so we don't really need to set up a customer type. In Project 4, you will need to do that. All right, I'm going to go to payment and credit, okay, and this has terms and credit. Again, you can see just like the vendors, the default terms are that there is no discount and that it's all due in 30 days. Well, that is what our policy is with customers. We don't have any customers that we have a special type of terms, but if we did, we could click on the down arrow and use customized terms, and then we could say click on use discount in so many days, 10 days or whatever, and the percentage would go in there. You can also put in a credit limit for this particular customer. So if they're ordering, buying too much stuff on account, a box will come up and tell us, oh, this customer is buying too much stuff. Okay, I'm going to put this back to use default terms. All of our customers in this demonstration go under that. Now there's a tab called Sales Info, and this is where we need, again, just like with the vendors, whenever we bought something on account from a vendor, Sage 50 already knows to credit accounts payable. What they don't know is what to debit. What were we buying from those vendors that we needed to debit? Here is the same way. If a customer buys something from us on account, Sage 50 automatically knows to go ahead and debit accounts receivable, but they don't know what to credit. Are we receiving money from, this is like a bank, and we're receiving money from them that we have to pay back, so we need to credit notes payable? Or is this a customer who's buying something on account and we need to credit sales? Maybe we have more than one sales account. Which sales account do you want us to credit normally for this particular? Now, you can go on the invoice, each individual invoice, and put in the account number that you want to credit. But it's easier if you know that mostly this customer is we need to credit a certain account. It's easier to put it right now when we set up the customer. Then that account will automatically come up on each invoice. We can change it if there's a particular invoice that needs to be changed. Okay, but otherwise it saves us some time. So here in blue it says GL, General Ledger Sales Account. Which sales account do we want to credit? Okay, which is we have an account called sales, okay? If there's any open PO, purchase order number, that we haven't shipped the stuff yet, we could put that in there, okay? If this customer, David's Decorating, is another merchandiser, so they're buying the stuff from us as if we were a wholesaler, and then they're going to turn around and resell it. In that case, they don't need to be charged sales tax. But sometimes the sales tax agency of the state can do an audit on us, and they don't want just our word that David's Decorating is reselling the stuff. We have to have the number from David's Decorating, their official resale number or exemption number, sales tax exemption number. We have to have that we're going to have to get from David's Decorating, so if we get audited, there it is, okay? And if they go and find out that David's Decorating was lying, at least we've covered ourselves. Okay, in this case, like I say, all of our customers need to get charged sales tax, so we don't need to put anything there. This pricing level, what that's all about is, let's say we have some customers who pay full price, but we have a few customers who do so much business with us that we give them a standing trade discount of 10% off. And so in that case, we can set up different price levels. You can see we can have as many as 10 different price levels, okay? And so 10 different types of customers that can get different price levels. So it'll take whatever is the price of that inventory, and it'll take that 10% off automatically, and that's what it's going to charge David's Decorating. Now, for the case of this demonstration, all the customers have to pay price level 1, so we're going to leave that there. When we get to project 2, however, we'll have to set up price levels. Okay, under history, if the customer owes us something from previously, then we're going to go into customer beginning balance. It wants to know, do we want to save the customer first? Yes, we do. What's the invoice number for David's? It's 221, and that was from September 23rd, and the amount is $33.40. And which account are we going to use for accounts receivable? Well, we only have one, okay? And we say save and close. Okay, we now have everything in for David, so we'll say save and new. Next one is Elizabeth Shoemaker. Put in shoe. Yes, Elizabeth Shoemaker. Okay, and under general, we don't have anything else. Under payment and credit, we don't have anything there. Sales info, the sale account, we're going to use sales. Okay, we don't need anything else there, so we can say save, and we can go into history, customer beginning balance. Invoice is $219, and that is from 9/15, and that is $279. And we have accounts receivable. And we say save and close. And then this record is done, and we'll say save and new. Okay. Now we got Meg Johnson. Okay, we have nothing with general we need to put in. Payment and credit, we have nothing there. Sales info, we need to put sales account is what we want credited, and we can put in customer beginning balance. Yes, we want to save the customer first. That's invoice 220, and that's date is September 19th. We have no purchase order. The amount is $4,000. And accounts receivables, account 122. Save, close, save and new. Okay, our last customer is Leah Summers. Okay, nothing in general, nothing in payment and credit. Sales info is sales and history. Customer beginning balance, yes, we want to save. Invoice number 218, and that was from 9/8/22. No purchase order. The amount is $2,000. This is accounts receivable. Say save, close. Okay, that was our last customer, and so we're going to say save and close. Okay. All right. So okay, we can take a look at over here on the right hand side of our screen. Lists now all of our customers. We can make sure that we put them in correctly, and there's the balances. We can make sure that we put those in correctly. Okay. Now let's go ahead, and our next step is to put in the sales taxes. And so we need to set up the sales tax wizard. So we go into here. Okay, we're not going to have enough time, so I'm going to make another video to do this. Okay, so we will go into sales tax, and we need to set up a new sales tax.